Have you seen, I guess, a difference in the engagement with the team internally through the phases? Because certainly here in the UK and in other parts of the world, there's been kind of a two-phase of COVID hitting regions. And first phase has, for most people, as certainly as our business has talked around the world, felt quite different to the second one. I think the second time round's been a lot tougher. Have you recognised anything there? Has there been anything different you've done in the second to the first to try and combat that?
I think, as I said, I left Nokia at the end of the year, but I think we really tried to keep the momentum of that early engagement up, because I think honestly, what you saw as the pandemic went on was deep fatigue, right? And a real disconnection, and maintaining those connections, I think, is really important, but really hard. And it got harder as time went by, because I think people just got tired and they were just sitting in their homes, concerned about their health, knowing that maybe they could go out, but maybe they shouldn't. And, a lot of conflicting, official advice in many countries about what you could do, what you couldn't do, what you should do. And so I think, there wasn't any new kind of special thing that we did, but we just tried to keep that momentum of engagement. Because it would have been easy to say, hey, we've done this for 4 months and okay, people seem to be okay, let's move on. Not true. And I think actually it raises a longer term question for companies, which is, how do you, in a world where everyone says, hey, work from home is the new thing, how do you keep a sense of team, of culture, engagement, and those kinds of things? Because I actually think, and I don't think we're going to go back to offices like they used to be, but I think you're going to have hubs of where people get together and engage, and then they go home and do their work. But it's going to be really interesting to see. But I think that, yeah, just keep doing the good stuff, I think, is what you got to do.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, particularly in such a creative environment like yours. A lot of that comes from the collaboration and trying to create collaboration. They're all called collaboration tools. We're talking through them now, but they're not quite the same.
No, they're not. They're good. I mean, but they're not a replacement from, getting, if you really want to be creative, I actually think there's nothing like getting, some smart people in a room and a whiteboard and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm old school, but
maybe, yeah.